So I'm hoping that the audio in this is okay today, because the extra step of the voiceovers is just a lot. Anyway, what I'd like to do today is watercolor of sort of everyday objects, and sort of sketching and painting everyday objects. So I have a couple here. I've done some examples. So here I actually, let me see if I can, so here is kind of a double page spread of some beauty supply products, and so hopefully you can see that there. And then here is a page of just everyday essentials, so some things that I really love to use every day. And so let's just go over a couple of these things. What I might do is actually move all this out of the road, and then we can just talk about some of this stuff. So first of all, let's just go through a couple of like what all these things are, and I can kind of explain my ideas behind, you know, how I painted them or sketched them. So the first thing we see is this wooden massage roller, and I actually use this, I'll put a link down below about lymphatic drainage. So if you have like swelling of the tissue or anything, and you basically just roll this along, you know, start from like your calves and work up. You're always working towards your heart, and you have quite a firm pressure, and then you just do kind of up your legs, then start with your arms, and then your stomach, and it's quite a nice, or you know, and your back. So this really helps. So this is something that I tried to sketch right there. And then one of the things that I wanted to sketch was actually this pawpaw ointment, and it is not a very pretty package, and it, you know, but it is really essential, and it's a really nice product. So I found out about this from a couple of friends in Australia, and every time one of her little sons had like a, you know, a graze or anything like that, she just whipped this out of her purse and just popped this on. So it's a really nice product. But again, like, how do you, you know, sketch something that just isn't super pretty? So what I've done here is put like the, so this paint, it's Rivervale watercolor, and it sort of goes brown, but then in the light it's ruby red, so I really love that. But with this is actually the left side of the packet, but I just didn't want to put that exactly how that goes, so I just popped that on the other side, and I really like how that turned out as well. And then a couple of other things here. We have like the organic California Baby organic perfume powder with the tiny little dots, and so I just used again pearl dots there. And here we have like Hugo Naturals, and the funny thing is I actually painted these from memory, and so this one here, I forgot that this was white, the text was white, and then this one here is the Dr. Bronner's hand soap, and I was sitting there thinking, is the bottle brown or white? And I was thinking it might be white, but it's actually green. So it's interesting, like when you use something every day, but your brain doesn't necessarily put it in as exactly, you know, the right thing. So that's just an interesting point. But then this is the vitamin C, so I just sketched that there. So moving right along, we have this page here of like luxury items, and these are not everyday essentials. These are just kind of pretty, you know, makeup things. So the first thing over here is this star box, which I really love. My sister got this for me, and it's just really nice. It's just full of little makeup brushes. My favorite mascara, it's actually the only one I've ever bought. I usually get the samples kind of the free ones out of my mum or my sister's makeup purchase. So this one here, this pink one, I actually ended up combining these two products. So these just sit on my sister's desk and I just really like the colours and that combo, so I just put those in there. That's also her Dior eyeshadow palette. And then this is actually one of my favourite things. So this is the Rose Quartz Roller. And I'm not sure if you've seen these before, but these are for your face. And once you turn kind of 35, you're like, you wake up a day after you're 35 and you're like, what has happened to my face? So this is kind of really a nice way to, it's similar to the kind of the wooden roller. You just basically press this quite firmly against, you know, your cheeks, your neck, your forehead and everything like that. And then you can use this little one around your eyes. So it's really nice. I don't use it as often as I should, but I think it's a really helpful product. And you can get these just off Amazon. Then this here is like a little, so this is just a little pretty glass bottle that my sister has in her room. I think this is one of her powder brushes. And then these products here, I really wanted to just kind of sketch them. I really love the, so you can see there, I really love the packaging and just the little, and just the hand-drawn elements there, the hand-drawn flower. So pretty fond of that. And some John Masters hair care, and I wanted to kind of paint some of these to kind of see how I wanted to do shadows and how to paint like white things. So the John Masters are usually like in white, and I actually ended up using Sedona, really watered down for that, and I'm pretty sure I used Sugalite for a lot of this, Daniel Smith, and I think Kyanite and Black for this shadow, and I think I used Moon Glow, let's see, Shadow, I think I used Shadow Violet for all of these shadows on this page. So, let's get to what I think we could do today. So we're gonna go over just an entire page. So we're gonna start with kind of, I always like to start with like a header up the top here. So some kind of, you know, pretty thing up there. So we're working in this Venezia sketchbook. It's the 9x12 one from Jackson's Art. And I'll try and leave links to things below as I can. So here is what I think we will sketch today. So I'd like to sketch this. This is something my sister got and it smells incredible. So we'll sketch that. What I think we'll do is just sketch, so some of the shapes. So what I found is that a lot of the shapes that you want to create in these everyday items are fairly similar. And here's another one, I'll show you that. So this is actually just it's this Jasmine and Spearmint, so I thought I'd try that. I just loved the packaging of it the other day, so I thought I would sketch that. And I always love to bring in a little bit of shine. That's actually the ink that I always talk about, I'll see if I can find Dr. P.H. Martin's or something. I'll try and link it below. And then that's just a little sketch of some mountain laurel. The interesting thing that I did with this is I actually just sketched it, and then I needed sort of darker areas, but I didn't have much time left, so I just grabbed my graphite and I just kept dipping it in the water and then drawing with that. And I can actually blend that out with a paintbrush at some point, but I just kind of quite loved that. Anyway, let's get back to today, what we're doing. So today I think we will sketch this. I would like to sketch these, and let's see, because what you find is kind of you just need the same kind of and probably this here. We might even do like this. So, oh, glare there, sorry. So my sister got me these for Christmas, so they always really end up on cakes, on animals that she does for cakes, but I just love them. Every Christmas she gets me some. So this is kind of what we will sketch today. Let me get rid of that glare. So this is kind of what we'll sketch today, because they have the similar shapes. So this is kind of the toothpaste or the like little hand cream. You know, you got the boxes, and then the round. There's often like round kind of elements like this, even if they're a little bit shorter, it's still a similar thing. And then there's often sort of oval type containers as well. So I thought we would paint all those today, and that kind of covers all the basics of those different products. So let's start with, so we might actually make this the top. So instead of having kind of one of these or like or one of these, we might actually just paint this at the top. Let's see. So again, we have the square, so that's pretty simple. And when I'm sketching, I like to sketch quite lightly and use several lines. So for example, I like to sketch a line like this instead of, you know, drawing the line like this. And this gives you a way to kind of, if you make a mistake, you can just correct that fairly easily, versus if you do this, you know, that's a major correction and you're going to end up with a line there when you erase that. So, all right, so where were we? So we have this. And then for the top, we're going to do 2 lines out. Well, actually for the 3 sides, we're going to do 3 lines out at these 3 points. And this would be the same for any like box shape, you know, whether it's a square or a rectangle. For example, if this came in here, you could still do this line here, and you could actually make these longer if you needed to, like this. So that's just a basic way to sort of sketch a cube sort of shape. Okay, so we have that in there, and then what I would like to do is still kind of do something. What I might do is just a little shield right here. Pretty basic, but just a nice little element. And then you can either put the date in here, you know, the day or something like that. All right, so let's just make some lashes. And so you can kind of see okay, so basically what I'm doing is flicking out little things each way. So kind of trying to, some shorter, some longer. Just kind of trying to make really wispy, pretty eyelashes. Okay, and then one of the nice things about this is just sort of learning a bit of lettering, and you're kind of looking at different packaging and trying to replicate those letters, and that way, but I don't know that we'll put anything on there actually. This ARS silk, we might put that across the bottom. Okay, now let's just do another, so let's do this boxy one as well. So this is the loose glitter, and it's a similar kind of thing that we just did here. So we'll just paint this, sorry, we'll sketch this little box. So let's just sketch this little box here. And we're going to do the same thing. So we're just going to take these 3 points. We're going to do that. Now it's got this nice oval. Okay. And then it's got this nice little thing here, like kind of butterfly wings. So we'll do that. And sometimes, like I said for here, it's just nice to kind of bring that logo off the side of the package and then have a go at kind of creating that there. So next we're kind of going to make this, which is just, you can kind of barely see that in there. Okay, and then we've got the Anastasia, so and you can see kind of there, it's just nice to look at those lettering and how to do that. So I really like that. And you can't get all the words in, so you just kind of pick some words, and then usually like down the bottom or something, I'll just do just a little wiggle of a line. Okay. So the next thing would be, now we'll do kind of the 2 round shapes, which is a pretty similar type of thing. We're going to sketch, so sketch kind of the body, and then the bottom of it's going to be a curve, and the top of it's going to replicate that curve. And then we're just kind of going to, so we're going to sort of make this circle an oval, and then you can see here we've got the lid. So again, we're following that curve, and then we have some for the screw, and then also the bottom part. And now we're going to just put the milk makeup. Okay, next let's do this deodorant. So we have a similar kind of and my favorite part about this is kind of the rose. So what we'll do here is just do the sticker at the top, and then we'll probably just freehand in the rose with watercolor. So that's that, and then the last kind of packaging shape would be, is this kind of one, this long one here. So I'm going to start kind of at 2 points at the top, sort of going down Then we're going to make a lid. Kind of bring that out a little bit. And then I always like to make this little top bit here and put some of the little markings in it. Okay. Right, so now we have kind of the basics of our page laid out, and so hopefully you can see there how you can, you know, you want to kind of style the page a little bit as well, so put things in an order that really looks nice. And now we are going to paint everything. So let's just start with one of the things that I really like doing, and that is using the Sedona to do the John Masters kind of hair care products, and just a tiny bit of that, and we're just blending that out with water. We want this to kind of look one of the other nice things is that the graphite itself lends itself to the shadow and the shape of the product. So let's just use the same thing for this milk. And you can use any types of things for the shadows. You know, that's kind of one of my hardest things, is trying to figure out what I want to use for the shadows, because you can pull the shadows cool, you can make them warm, you can make them contrast, you can make them complement. So it's really, it's up to you kind of how you want those. You could just use like shadow violet or moon glow and really lightly and create those shadows. Now we're going to do I think just instead of making this package completely black, we're just going to go with some moon glow and some shadow violet. So the whole purpose of this as well is like quite loose sketching and just enjoying learning and thinking about different shapes. So I'm just making the lid of the glitter and the label. And you do want to be careful there that that doesn't kind of bleed into each other if they're still wet. Again though, like sometimes you get those really pretty blooms when you do that, so I'm not too worried about it. So next we are going to do this package. So I'm just grabbing a bit of Opera Rose. And again, I can probably go back in with a bit of the Sedona. So you can use like a light brown. This is a Daniel Smith Genuine. You can use, you know, like an ochre or something like that. just in a really light concentration. So I want to make this pink pretty vibrant. And one thing about this paper is it does not lift very well, so that's just something to keep in mind. So now I'm just going to kind of start the rose here, just very lightly. So I didn't kind of try and do that exactly. I just kind of made up my own version of it. Okay, so now we're just going to go back, and what I might do is let me show you a different color here for this. So say I wanted to use, this is ochre, this is Verona gold ochre. Now, and you can use something like this, like so, just kind of. So what I've done here, what I'm doing is I'm just taking, let's see, just glue, regular school glue, Elmer's glue, and I've just I'm just painting it on here like that, and I've just done it up there, and then I actually used the actual product itself, and I just put that in there. And so for this one, I'm thinking of using this other sparkle. So I got this from Michael's. So what I'm going to do is that, and then okay, so, and I just used like an old paintbrush to do that with the glue. Alright, let's see now. So for the top, it's this sort of, what I am going to do is, I'm going to grab my Schminker gold palette, and then let's just use the silver out of that. I'm going to use a combination of the silver and sort of this champagne colour here. And again, I don't mind if the watercolour pencil sort of bleeds into that, because it just gives more shading. Alright. And then I'm just going to use a bit for the top here. I might even take a little of this and actually put it into this product here too. Then I might take a little of this and put it into kind of where the shadows would be on the curve, or we're going to use a dip pen and this Dr. P.H. Martin's. So at this stage, I'm just kind of showing you that I've gone around a few of the products here with my #1 fine liner, just in a few areas. So, and then also some of the writing. So here's the pen, but I've just kind of, I haven't outlined the whole thing. I've just kind of done it in the same sketch style where I just do a little bit, and I've used the nib pen to also do a little bit. I think you can see the broken lines there. And to do some of the writing, I always love to incorporate sort of some of that shimmer and that nib pen work in the pages. And also here, I really love it when the, because the paint was still wet, so the ink kind of bled a little bit into that. And I love those little extra special sort of touches. So one thing is that you can just outline, so I'm not sure exactly what I want to do on this page yet, but let's go to this page. And one of the things that we can do is actually take our fine liner and make little marks all around, like as if they're kind of cut lines. And then you can draw some little scissors. If you've made a page out of a magazine, so that's one thing that you can do there, and you could keep doing that around all the products. You might also want to add just colour on the page, so I'm just going to grab some lemon yellow here and just it's not something that I do a lot, but I do think that it kind of adds to the page. there's lots of different ways that you can add to these pages, and you know, just a really light wash around the products would also be a really nice thing to do. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, guys, and I am working on a nib video for you. I am still trying to do the voiceover of the Midori passport size flip through, so those things are coming. They're just taking me a little bit longer, but thanks for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye.